Hello, Camden Walker for Capital Weather Gang. From my lockdown front yard to your lockdown, hopefully you got some air today. I want to tell you about the flash flood threat tonight with some storms that might produce some heavy rain. But in the meantime, let's celebrate how it was a decent weekend, shall we say. Still 75 degrees here in Washington, D.C. And yes, due to technical difficulties, some of this might appear backwards, and I'll play with the settings shortly. But I wanted to get on the air to let you know flash flood watch has been issued for much of the region, and we are most concerned about that with radar already showing some rain moving from west to east toward town. This could affect the region from now until about 4 a.m. east of town. So we're at storm threat level 1, main threat being, and not a guarantee, some isolated patchy flash flooding around town. So heaviest rain is the concern here, area in green throughout the region from the Storm Prediction Center. It's a level 1 out of 5, so not a high threat, but still worth considering and staying weather aware tonight. I want you to be aware, small hail is possible, some damaging wind gusts are possible, but we're mostly concerned about flooding roads. So turn around, don't drown, okay? Turn around, don't drown if you encounter a water-covered roadway. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Colleen. Hello, Margaret. How are you doing? And Karen, thanks for tuning in. Carol, thanks for tuning in. Angel, thanks for tuning in as well. I'm going to play with settings really quick and let me know what you see. Does that turn me green, as I fear it does? Please let me know. I at least can show you the graphics without the inverted text, but I worry. Hi, Melissa. Am I green and blue now? Do I need to... Hi, Paul. Can you see the graphics okay? Please let me know it is green, so I don't like that. I don't know why. There we go. So the compromise tonight is staying with the inverted graphics, but you can tell we've got plenty to talk about. A cold front overall, you can tell, moving hopefully west to east. We got to get that out of here tonight. This is the culprit with our severe weather. So I hope I'm not green anymore and that you can see these striations of color of heavier rainfall. And yes, Melissa, that is a good line. Oh, I'm still green, Carol. I am sorry to hear that. So at least I will go and, goodness, what should we do here? Do I undo the green? I have no filter selected, and this is just very, very good timing of Facebook bugs, that is for sure. So I am hopefully not making you sick. All colors are good. Much better. Okay, so I think I fixed it. This is showing the rain in the region, around 1 inch we can expect, especially south of town. I'm glad I am no longer showing you the different colors, but again, I'm sorry about the inability to read these high temperatures tomorrow. We're thinking near 70 degrees, upper 60s, near 70. Kevin, thanks for joining. Courtney, thanks for joining. And I'm sorry again about the inverted graphics, but I'd rather not be green. These are the wind gusts tomorrow, and I can hopefully give you the coloring there of 20 to 30 mile per hour wind gusts. So expect that. Yep, the backwards map, Karen. I'm doing that because if I go unbackwards, I think I am green. So here's unbackwards, so you can at least read the numbers, but I think it's a green coloring, and that is indeed the downside. So the problem is, hopefully not green, but you can read this, that we have wind gusts tomorrow, 20 to 30 miles per hour. And then this cold front does come back toward us later this week. So we might have some issues later in the week. All right, let me know how this is. It looks like it's green to me. I'm going to show you the week ahead forecast. The rain moves out early tomorrow morning, so at least we do clear out. It does turn windy. That's why we have this windsock down here. We could get windy again later this weekend, but temperatures are generally cool and below average. Tornadoes are not on the table tonight, Diane, for the DC region. Very low probability. I can't ever say zero when we have a severe weather threat, but very, very low. All right, so I'm going to go out of the green here, and hopefully that's my compromise. I apologize. I was dealing with these technical issues for many minutes, but I wanted to at least tell you that we're watching everything at cwg.news/latest. Anytime you need us, go to capitalweathergang.com. And of course, you can see the latest that we're thinking about the chances for some patchy flooding tonight. And we've got some small chances of wind damaging gusts and maybe some small hail as well. And I'll put this up so you can read it after the broadcast. And we also have cwg.news/May Outlook, where you can go see that we're calling for a generally cool and wetter than average May, which, did you know, May is actually our wettest month of the year. So when I see the indications are for below average temperatures in our region. The good news is our average temperatures keep going up. So remember that 74 degrees, I know that's backwards, but 74 degrees is our average high temperature by next week, which is where we're looking. And we might have below average precipitation next week as well. So there's a chance we can dry out just a little bit. We're running 2.5 inches below, 2.5 inches above where we should be for our rainfall this time of year. Peter, thanks for tuning in. Kim, thanks for tuning in. I'm sorry that glitches are here. And Carol, yes, I'm glad you got outside. I hope you were safe and used a mouth covering and did social distancing, which is the most important. And Karen, thanks for tuning in. I'm glad I'm teaching you something. And again, go to our May Outlook at cwg.news/May Outlook. We are predicting above average rainfall and below average temperatures on balance for the month of May. So pollen levels, that is a good question. We have the latest reading with some decently high pollen for trees and a little bit for grasses. So if you were grass sensitive as well, you have also felt it. And I know I had to take an allergy pill today as well, Melissa. So that was a good question. Heather, thanks for joining. I'm sorry for some of these technical difficulties. You probably can't read it. It's backwards, but at least my screen is not showing green for you. Our sunset now after 8 p.m., 8:03 p.m. So happy Sunset Sunday. Thank you for joining and enjoy the nearly 14 hours of day length at this time of year. Yes, Tamika, I'm looking forward to the rain washing away some of the pollen this time of year. Thank you all for tuning in very much. I'm Camden Walker for Capital Weather Gang, dealing with the Facebook choice of either a green, blue haze over the screen or allowing you to read these graphics. So I'm going to without the green filter and backwards graphics. So the main thing I want to emphasize is the flash flood watch has been issued for the region, for much of the region tonight. So please turn around, don't drown, especially in these areas. Storms are approaching from the west, moving east. Again, I'm sorry the graphics are backwards, but we can expect it to be overnight, that we need to stay weather aware. Storm threat level 1 of 3, so we're not sounding much alarm, but do want you to stay weather aware on a scale of 1 to 3. So just 1 out of 3 here in the green. We're still from the Storm Prediction Center. It's worth highlighting our region does have the heavy rainfall threat. That's the main concern of some patchy flooding, but we could see some small hail and even some slight wind gusts that have small potential to damage some things. So we got to get this cold front out of here. This is the culprit. It's moving from west to east tonight, so we will clear out tomorrow. But the downside is we do have rain tonight to deal with, and that's why we're worried with the wet soils, that 1 inch and even some spots over 1 inch, especially south of town where they've issued the flash flood watch. We could see some patchy flooding. So please turn around, don't drown if you encounter a water covered roadway. And again, these are going to be backwards, but the high temperatures tomorrow, maybe mid 60s to near 70 degrees. So that is the upside, but the downside is wind gusts 20 to 30 miles per hour behind our cold front tomorrow, and also clear skies. So keep that in the back of your head. It's not a slam dunk great day tomorrow, but we have wind gusts, but we do have sunshine and we're able to dry out, and temperatures try to climb toward the 70 degree mark. All right, Alex, yes, indeed. I know you can't read the graphics. Thank you for tuning in though. And Liz, nope, the Facebook glitches are my choice between backwards graphics or a green blue haze over the entire thing, where you could read the graphics, but I don't think you could. So sorry about that. And Paul, thanks for tuning in. Updated outlook for temperatures this month. Indeed, we are looking at a May outlook, which is at cwg.news/May outlook. And I'm sorry it's backwards, but you can go to anytime you need us at capitalweathergang.com. Despite these tech glitches, but May is looking like it could be cooler than average with above average rainfall. A little bit damp, a little bit cool, especially the first half of the month. But again, go to cwg.news/May outlook for all the details on that. The pattern could be stuck over us to keep us cool and a little bit damp for the month. All right, can we get more days like yesterday, please? I agree with you, Alyssa. 75 now here in downtown DC. We had a high temperature today of 78 degrees at DCA Airport. So that was another decent notch of the weekend. But please remember, when the weather is warm, continue to do that social distance. That's the most important. And followed by that is a backup measure. If you aren't sure that you can maintain 6 or more feet, do have a mouth covering, please. It's a really good thing as a 1-2 preventative measure during this public health crisis. All right, Torre, thanks for doing these updates. I appreciate you tuning in. You stay safe, Lisa King as well. Daniel, I appreciate you tuning in. And Liz, you love that it is 8 and still kind of light. Yes, indeed, our sunset here on Sunday now at 8:03 p.m. I'm sorry for the backwards graphics, but yep, sunset is over here at 8:03 p.m. Almost 14 hours of day length. So we are getting there, and about, I think, near June 20th, which is our summer solstice, the longest day of the year, we have 14 hours and 58 minutes. So we gain almost another hour of day length. for the entire day. So hope that is a cool tidbit for you. All right, Lisa, you're most welcome. Stephanie, you have a great weekend as well. Paul, most welcome. And no storms of Culpeper, Arlene, I hope for you as well. But a quick look at radar, we do think these are moving from west to east and southeast a little bit. So Culpeper will probably not get completely sidestepped. But look at this, Culpeper, sorry, it's backwards, about a half inch of rain expected overnight tonight with heavier amounts up here near DC. So that is, I'm sorry to report, you're going to get a little wet probably in Culpeper. Stephanie is working on your reverse reading skills. And Katrina, it felt really muggy this evening. The humidity did notch up today. So I'm going to show you the dew point, which is an absolute measure of humidity versus the relative humidity, which is a measure of evaporation. So dew point at 60 or above, it's at 62 degrees right now. That on the muggy scale is a little bit muggy. And it's the first time really of the season it's been a while since our bodies have felt a 60-degree dew point or higher. So do pay attention to the dew point levels when you're wondering, is it muggy or not? That's the best reading to do. 50s, it can still be a little bit comfortable for dew points in the 50s, but 60s starts feeling a little bit harder to breathe. And it's only going to get worse here in the DC summer. So I'm Camden Walker for Capital Weather Gang, from my yard to your yard or home. I hope you're doing okay. Got some air today, at least open the windows. It was a decent day with a high temperature of 78 degrees at DCA Airport, and still about mid 70s here downtown, 75.1. Again, sorry for the backwards graphics and the lovely technical problems. Flash flood watch has been issued for the DC region. We're expecting some patchy flash flooding overnight tonight. These storms are moving in from west to east, progressing toward town, maybe lasting until about 4 a.m. Keep your storm threat level awareness at a 1 out of 3. We're not sounding all the alarms, but we just want you to stay weather aware tonight. Keep that phone on nearby you. You can use Do Not Disturb. Just make sure that your volume alert is on, that it's not switched to silent with the hard switch on the side of your phone, and that you're connected to cellular signal so you can get any warnings pushed to you. Again, in the green, Storm Prediction Center has this area of concern here. Mainly, we're concerned about heavy rain leading to patchy flash flooding and some small hail, and a slight chance of damaging wind gusts as well. We got to get this culprit out of here tonight, moving through this cold front. It's going to push out to the east, and though behind it, during the night tonight, we could see an inch or more of rain, especially in these magenta colors. So I'm sorry it's backwards, but we are again looking at some heavier rain around town and especially southward. High temperatures tomorrow, that's the upside. Behind the cold front, we'd still get near 70 degrees. And thanks, Demi, for tuning in. Kat, good question about planning this week. You're going to want to wait until we get past maybe late week when we see a cool snap. So if you're on the Beltway, we have a very good chance of being without frost and freezes anymore in the season. But if you're on the I-81 corridor, you're going to want to wait until at least Mother's Day. So wind gusts tomorrow, that's the downside. 20 to 30 mile per hour wind gusts. I'm sorry, it's backwards, but we do at least get the sunshine tomorrow. And the rain moves up pretty early, and the temperatures go down a little bit. We're back below average again. And again, our warmest day is of the week is Monday, in the upper 60s, maybe near 70 degrees. And here are the backwards letters for you because of the glitches here. I'm at least not green and blue, so you can see some of this. cwg.news/latest is our latest forecast at capitalweathergang.com. Storms tonight, they could be strong, with the flooding potential being the main threats. So please go to that on our blog, capitalweathergang.com. And for more on the May outlook, that looks a little damp, a little cool, and below average with the temperatures, go to cwg.news/May outlook, and make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube, and our daily email forecast can be delivered right to your inbox. Thank you, Sherry, for tuning in. I hope you are well. Kat, thanks for tuning in. And Carol, you're most welcome. Do take care. Demi, thanks again for tuning in from New Zealand. And Katrina, I felt really muggy this evening. We talked about how the dew points are the best measure of mugginess, and they are above 60 degrees. It has been a while since we have felt dew points this muggy at or above the 60-degree mark, about 62-degree dew point here downtown. So thanks for dealing with everything. My blue-green screen. Let's try it one more time. Let's see what happens. Watch. I turn blue and green, but at least you can see the words are readable with the flash flood watch being issued for the region. That's what we're most concerned about overnight, this heavy rain. Storms moving in from west to east. It could take until about 4 a.m. for these storms to exit to the east of town. Storm threat level 1, if you can see that, is everyday storm readiness. We're asking you just to be aware isolated severe storms are possible. The main threat being heavy rain tonight, but we could see in this shaded area here in the region not only heavy rain that leads to patchy flooding, but some small hail and damaging wind gusts as well. So thank you all for tuning in, and I'm glad you're enjoying the entertainment that I'm now blue and green, but at least, hey, you can read that we're looking at a heavy amount of rain tonight, maybe an inch around town, and even a little more possible south of town as well. So remember, turn around, don't drown. If you encounter a water-covered roadway and high temperatures tomorrow, hey, at least you can read them, but without coloring. Maybe mid 60s to near 70 degrees. That's the upside tomorrow. And sunshine is good, but the downside are wind gusts 20 to 30 miles per hour. So hold on to your hats later tomorrow. And here's the week ahead forecast before I change the graphics again. You at least can read the numbers. The rain clears out early tomorrow, so ignore that. We do have sunshine returning. And then it's kind of unsettled by midweek again, and you can see temperatures kind of stay down. I'm hoping it's not this cold. We'll watch the cold snap this weekend. So that's why if you're outside the Beltway, and especially along the I-81 corridor in the Shenandoah Valley, you're going to want to plant. You're going to want to wait to plant some of your most sensitive vegetables. Katrina, thanks for tuning in. And Mary, I'm glad that there is no commuting tomorrow. Yes, indeed, that is a benefit. I'm going to switch this back so I'm no longer colored. And Mary, indeed, some cool nights are still possible, but they are short cool nights because, again, we have a very short night nowadays, a day length of almost 14 hours. So even if we dip cold down toward maybe upper 30s, it's possible downtown. We'll see. But at least it's a quick cold snap and we rebound quickly as the sun is up for about 14 hours every day. So Misha, yep, we'll have to watch the weekend to see if it's cool, but it could be sunny, and that is the good news when we look ahead toward the weekend. So fingers crossed, we could have a reason to be outside and get some mental health air this upcoming weekend again. But again, social distance is very important, even as the weather does warm a little bit. Also use those face coverings. That is important. 1-2 combination there. So 6 feet of distance, the most important, combined with a face covering, please. Hello from Chevy Chase. Evan, thanks for tuning in. Chase, yes, indeed, flash flooding is possible tonight. Here's the area that was just issued under this green shading. I'm sorry that's backwards there for you due to my Facebook technical difficulties, but a flash flood watch has indeed been issued for tonight for much of the region. We could see an inch or more of rain around town and south, so keep that in mind. The soil is wet. We're running about 2.5 inches above normal for a rainfall just for the year to date. And I have the last week's worth of rainfall. The region definitely got 1.5 inches or more of rain, so the soil is indeed wet after last week. Pamela, you be safe as well. And the winds start, let's say, mid-morning tomorrow and ramp up through midday into the afternoon. Francis, good question. And again, 20 to 30 mile per hour wind gusts are possible. That's the downside, even though we have clear skies tomorrow and temperatures maybe near 70 degrees, 20 to 30 mile per hour wind gusts, if you could read that, are possible for tomorrow. The cool pattern ends maybe in the month of May, Tyler. That's a good question. We're thinking that maybe we switch in the latter half, but overall May is looking a little bit cooler than average and wetter than average. So go to cwg.news/May Outlook. And anytime you need us at capitalweathergang.com. And I wish you could read that, but I'll post some of these after the broadcast due to my lovely Facebook being weird. And I hope you be safe as well, Lisa. Thank you, Francis. You take care as well. And Pamela, you be safe. And indeed, I'll try and make sure to tell Facebook they had lots of glitches tonight. So you all take care. I'm Camden Walker signing off. Have a decent start to your week. Please stay weather aware tonight with heavy rainfall possible. A flash flood watch has been issued. Go to cwg.news/latest or touch on my face and the links pop up below on your mobile device. And you can click right to our capitalweathergang.com blog latest forecast. Have a good evening. Stay weather aware. Thanks so much for tuning in despite the glitches. Bye for now.